When having starter motor problems, it's helpful to have some tips. Here are some that I've found useful. First of all, get yourself a workshop manual. This way you can make sure you don't miss anything along the way. A good way to find out if your starter motor is the reason for your car not starting is to give it a light tap with a hammer. This can in some situations get the car started again, and worked for me several times prior to replacement and making this video. However, on the day of recording it started fine. Not once, but 7 times in a row. I think this may have been because it was 6 AM when it didn't work during the week, when temperatures were around -3. On the day of filming it was probably around 6 or 7 degrees outside. Could that slight difference in the size of internal components due to temperature cause it to fail? Comments down below if you've got any thoughts on this. If tapping your starter lightly with a hammer doesn't get your car going, you can check that your battery is not the cause of the problem. Using a multimeter, turn your dial to 20 and then place the negative and positive probes on the battery terminals. Anything above 12.6 with the engine off should be fine. You can also check your battery using a charger. If you put it on charge and it quickly says ready and maintaining, you know it's holding its charge, especially after a cold night. When it comes to replacing the starter motor, you need to disconnect the battery. Disable the negative terminal on your battery first to prevent causing any electrical damage. Then place them out of the way. Grab a small spanner of the correct size and undo the hose clip secured to the top of the starter motor. From here you have more room to undo electrical cables that supply the starter with current. When getting to the actual bolts that hold the starter in place, access is limited. I found a cheap socket set I bought for the house ideal due to its small size. Even then it was a bit of a squeeze and difficult to get enough purchase to undo the bolts. At this point my starter motor has been on the car for 20 years and you can see the corrosion on the once shiny aluminium casing. As a result the bolts are stiff. A quick spray with some penetrating lubricant like WD-40 and a 5 or 10 minute wait can be a worthwhile endeavour. Plus it gives you time to put the kettle on. Keep your eye on the motor to make sure it doesn't hang from the engine. This will make undoing the bolts more difficult. If it does, give it a lift back into place. With the motor removed, you can see the amount of deposit that is caked all over it from years of use.
Look at that ground. Look at that.
At this point, save yourself a lot of hassle by removing the correct bolt from the starter housing and installing the hose clip from the old starter. I didn't, and then I had to remove it again once installed to get the clip on there, which obviously was a massive pain in the ass. Whatever you do while you're doing the job, don't use your battery as a tool tray. If your tools connect with the terminals, it will spark. Once your bolts are in place, reconnect the electrical cables to your starter, reconnect the battery, positive terminal first, followed by the negative. This is to prevent any shorts and potential damage to your electrical equipment. And try and turn the engine over to see if it worked. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share and subscribe.